Hey, what's up, everybody? Pat here, grateful recovering alcoholic and addict, just like every day. What's up, everybody? Hope everybody's doing well up there today. Here in Boston, it was an absolutely beautiful day, 65 and sunny. A little windy at the end of the day, but absolutely gorgeous day. Guys, please hit the subscribe button, like the video, comment, share. You guys know the routine by now. More than anything else, guys, thank you for being here with me again. I appreciate it very much. We are slowly growing, and it means the world to me. And I love you all being there. Thank you so much. Let's see. You know what, guys? We're gonna talk about service to God, right? Or service to our, to each other, really, to our, fellow humanity, right? So, in the course of I do a number of different guys. Jobs, guys. You guys, I'm a mechanic. I restarted my handyman service, my home remodeling business, and small remodeling business, and a lot of property maintenance, right? I do a lot of work for property owners, people that rent apartments out and whatnot. So part of that is when people move out, I usually have to go in behind and see what they left behind, clean out whatever stuff they left, and and make repairs and paint. Bring the painter and I'll paint myself. I mean, I choose not to, but anyway. The point of this being, guys, is one of the things I find is I come across a lot of stuff, right? And in the past, I used to have, when I was high as a kite, I think everything had value, and I'd have an apartment full of junk, and it was absolutely ridiculous, right? It was literally like Hoarder Central around my apartment, and thank God it's not like that anymore. But stuff that can't be reused, I throw in the dumpster. And if it's half decent, a lot of times I'll leave it outside the dumpster because there's people that come by and check the dumpsters, and they pull stuff out of there. So, if it's scrap metal, I'll make a little pile for them, and if it's something half decent, not stuff that I can't necessarily donate, because that's the point of this, guys. Is what I do is I donate. And some stuff I'll bring to Salvation Army, but better than what I prefer to do when I'm urging you guys to, because Salvation Army, they turn around, they sell this stuff, and it's not terrible. At least it goes to a decent cause. But um, when you guys have extra stuff where you're gonna put out in the curb or something like that, consider donating it to a church. I found a church here in town. It's not the church I go to, but it's a church where there's a lot of and I don't want to say refugees, but a lot of people from different countries that come here, and they're finding their way, and I bring a lot of like babies' car seats, kids' toys, anything, electronics, anything that's decent, that's working, it's in good shape. I found a local church down here that I really like, because what they do is they find members of their congregation and that need the stuff, and they'll hand it out accordingly, and they're not trying to make a profit off it. And I don't really have a problem with Salvation Army making a profit off it, because they do sell the stuff in stores, and I'll go buy stuff from the Salvation Army store. It's great. But I find it nicer when I'm giving, if I'm donating stuff, I like to find, I like to know that it's being given to people that actually need it, and they're not having to come up with money to pay for it, and that makes me feel good. So that's something you can do, guys. My point being is there's so many different ways to be of service to people, right? Again, I talk about it all the time. Anytime I see a car broken down or somebody on the side of the road, I always stop and try to help, and that happens quite often. But I'm bringing it up today because I was actually, I felt really good. I was able to bring a crib, a high chair, a little baby, walks into the doorway swing chair that was like brand new, and a couple of car seats down to the church. And as a matter of fact, right when I was bringing it in there was a family that needed it, and they were thrilled. And it was really cool to see. To see the people that were actually getting the stuff that I'm donating, and how appreciative they were of it, right? That was really cool, man. It made me feel good, and that's why I'm talking about it, guys. There's so many different ways you can be of service, and honestly, not only are you helping somebody else out, but at the end of the day, I don't know anybody that wouldn't feel better. Like, I walked away feeling like $1 million, man. I really, felt really good to be doing something for somebody else like that. And you know what, guys? These are the things that I do on a daily basis that I tell you that, like, I feel like I'm walking with a team of angels, because everything in my life is going really well, and I'm being presented with a lot of really good opportunities left and right. And not only that, but the people that I deal with, are just, treating me amazingly. Like, my landlord's giving me the pickup truck. Like, it's funny now. We joke, he's now calling it my truck instead of his truck. Before it was, hey, well, you taking care of my truck? Well, hey, just make sure you keep up on your truck. It's hilarious. But at the end of the day, guys, it's it's a little bit older, but still, I got this beautiful King Ranch Ford pickup truck to drive around and to work out of, and not feel like I'm taking advantage of it, right? These are the things that happen when you align yourself with God. You put other people's concerns or you take into account people's concerns. So you're not trying to get over on anybody. Excuse me, I tripped my words, guys. And just showing up as the best version of myself that I possibly can, and trying to be of service to as many people as possible, right? It did, the universe, world, God, however you choose to consider it, they find ways to repay you in ways you'll never see coming, and that's what happens, guys, left and right. I go out and do things, and again, just trying to help as many people as I can, but at the same time, being discerning of who I can and can't help, and the people that want my help, I can't play into fantasies. Like I've been talking about the person I'm trying to help out, and she's having a real hard time grasping reality, and that's terrible. Matter of fact, she is calling right now, so I'll call her back. She's having a hard time grasping the reality of her situation, and I feel like she's trying to find a way to get on. And I know at the end of the day she's really not, but she's not willing to step forward and help herself in the ways that she needs to, and it's really it's heartbreaking. It really is, and I almost want to say frustrating, but I can't allow it to frustrate me today. I will be there, I will listen, but I will not bullshit, right? As soon as she comes with the things that are just woe is me, I stop her right there and like, listen, just get out of that, get out of the frame of mind. This is the reality. This is what happened. This is where you're at, and this is what's being offered to you. Find a way to grab onto that lifeline and take it and use it for a positive. And if you're just going to wallow in self-pity, then you know what? You're going to lose the opportunity in front of you, and less people are going to be looking to reach out. So, guys, and I guess what I was calling in, I guess that's God's message to talk about this. You can't wallow in self-pity, guys. Wallowing in self-pity and worrying about yesterday does not do you any good. You've got to find a way, and again, whether it takes a therapist, whether it takes medication, whether it takes seeking professional help, whatever you got to do to get over the things that held you down yesterday, you've got to let that shit go. And if you're if you're actively in the situation, then you've got to get out of it, whatever it takes. And again, I typically equate things to addiction because that is my story, that is my path. Guys, I thought I had, there's no way I can do this, there's no way I can do this. No, that's not true, guys. You literally just have to suck it up, cut it off, go to rehab, go to, when I first went into the rehab, my initial thought was, well, I'll go for 3 to 5 days, just enough to get me off that I can function without the drugs in my system, and come right back out and go right back to work. And thank God I didn't, right? As soon as I get in there, I'm like, nah, I need to, and first of all, it took me about 12 days before I could even get out of bed, because I was on a hell of a nasty run, and I was, physically addicted to, large amounts of fentanyl, and it was just, it was a hard thing to kick, without medically assisted treatment, and I didn't start medically assisted treatment for 12 days because I didn't, they can't give it to you. The laws have changed. It used to be you walk in and they just medicate you. Now you got to have either an outside doctor, your primary care, prescribing it to you, or you got to get an appointment with a primary care. And I didn't have a primary care, so I couldn't get an appointment, and blah blah blah. Long story short, after 12 days, they started medicating me, and now I'm on my Sublocade and doing phenomenally well with it. I really like it, and I could walk off it because I don't have cravings. But I'm like, in the back of my head, I'm like, is that a reservation so that I can get high? So I've committed to staying on it for a year, and maybe at 10 months I'll decide at that point and see where I'm at. But I'm like, I'm not gonna get up early because it's not bothering me. It's not an inconvenience because it keeps me going to my doctor's once a month and keeps me up on it. Like, while I'm there, I scheduled cholesterol screening and all sorts of different screenings. So I'm, it's keeping me on top of my health, and it's not hurting me anyway. So I'm just gonna keep taking it for the time being because I'm not losing anything from it, and from my understanding, there's no withdrawals walking off of it, although I recently read something online about it that said something, possibly months after. So again, I've got to do a little more research, but regardless, I'm already taking it and it's not hurting me, so I'm going to stay on it. And but one more reason, you've got to do your own research, not necessarily just what's told to you. You always want to look at things for yourself. And guys, literally, I've said it a million times, the only knight in shining armor that's going to walk into your life and save you is you and is God, right? And you can do it. You don't need anybody else, guys. You've just got to take the reins of your own life, surrender to God, so you're looking at things from a bigger picture, and you've got the universe, God, blessing you the way that I do, because I give reverence as much as I do, and I put as much strength into my faith and make that such a big part of my life. And I make it at the forefront to anybody I meet. Not that I'm throwing God down their throat, but I let people know that, yeah, no, this is who I am. You know, I'm an addict in recovery, how you know, typically that'll ask a reaction, how long you been clean, what are you doing, you know what I mean? And I let them know I'm coming up on 3 months, but it's been really well. I've completely transformed my life because I've done it through God, and I let people know. So because some people are they're going to be turned off by that, and if that's the case, it's not people I want to necessarily collaborate with, or certainly nobody I want to hang around with on a daily basis. And I'll still work with anybody, but people that are trying to get to know me, I make it a forefront because this is my life at this point. And it's funny, I still find it amusing to say that because 6-8 months ago that was the furthest thing from the truth. But you know what, 6-8 months ago I absolutely fucking hated who I was, and today I love who I am, and I give that to God because I literally finding God and allowing God into my life has allowed me to find out who I really am and love the person that I've become and the person I'm becoming. And this is still the start of a journey, right? I'm literally just kind of getting back into the world and starting to meet people and starting to talk to different people. And it blows my mind the amount of people that are looking just to get over on you. Like, this platform here is my mainstay. I like my YouTube channel. I like the people I communicate with. I'm doing a lot of videos on TikTok because it drives engagement up faster. But at the same time, like, I can't interact with anybody on that site because literally 99.9% of the people that interact with me are trying to get me, they're trying to get my personal information. They're trying to get me to talk to them on another site. So it's either, they're trying to sell me X-rated content or direct me to their, to OnlyFans page or, whatever. I mean, there's a million scams. I had people, they talk to me on WhatsApp and, they know that's your personal, typically it's a personal number. So guys, if you are going to do this, I would suggest setting it up so that it's not your personal cell phone number and they can't link anything to your account because I got people forwarding codes to my account. Oh, and then they'll text you, oh, I used your number to activate my account, send me the code they sent you. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to hijack my TikTok account so they can clone it and they see that it's growing and getting attention, so they want to use it to scam people. And I'm like, absolutely not, man. I don't want to be any part of that. It's literally 100%, 180 degrees from what I'm all about today, right? So you got to be careful with it, guys. And I'm not going to stop doing it because it is helping the engagement. But I'm just putting up a notice on my profile that no, I don't interact. No, I won't give up my cell phone number. Here's my email if you wanna collaborate that way. My email's linked. But be careful giving out your personal information, guys. With AI and everything else today, the scams are getting way smarter. They're able to fake a lot more. And you got to be aware of that. But at the same time, you don't want to let it stop you from using the tools that you can use to do what you want to do and do what matters to you. And for me, it's building this community and building a following here, and it's helping me learn things too. And I'm hoping to do this more and more in the future. And I'm thinking about ways to expand the channel and have other offerings, but we'll see. Anyway, my point being, guys, is you have the power to do anything in your life. You just got to be smart about it. Give it to God. Find your higher power. Develop a relationship with it, and that helps you to become the best version of you. Because everything you need to move your life forward is inside of you, right? It's not. So often we think we're stuck because we need so and so to do and so before we can do such and such, and that's not case. That's not the case, guys. You got to do it for yourself, and this is literally everything I'm about. And it's funny now that I've been committed to doing that for myself. Now, a lot of the people that had no choice, and I don't blame anybody that shut the door on me prior because I was a mess. You couldn't, as talented as I am and as good as I am at certain things, like, you didn't know if I was going to show up, you didn't know if I was going to finish the job, you didn't know if I was going to fucking nod out and overdose on the job site. Not that those things happen, but again, it's a concern when somebody's using those kind of drugs, and I totally get it. But now, people are coming back and they want to interact with me and they want to have me back in their life, and that's great. But at the same time, I'm being discerning because, you know what, I'm not the person that I used to be because I now understand that the person that I was and the way that I didn't stick up for myself and I didn't, I didn't go to bat for myself made it so that everybody else took advantage of me. And a lot of people in the past, that's the person they want to come back because I did so many things for so little money, and I can't be that person anymore. There's no way I'll ever succeed and ever move forward in life doing that. So you got to be able to sit back and take stock of where you're at in life, figure out where you take accountability, change the person you are, heal the person you are, make you the best version of yourself you can. And then if people are not willing to accept that person, then clearly they're not in your life for good reasons, and you've got to be willing to let them go and move on. And that's what I'm doing today, guys. And I'm moving into to green pastures and beside still waters, and it's a beautiful thing, right? Guys, I think that's about it for today. Thank you so much. Appreciate y'all being here. Remember, guys, God loves you. I love you. Be the best version of you can, and live the best life you can. And by doing so, you're going to help so many people around you, okay? Thank you, guys. We'll see you in the next one.